Hello there. I'm Lee from Educative. We've completed season 2 of Educative Sessions, a storytelling podcast for developers around the globe. Here are some of the highlights.
Ended up not taking a salary for a bit, being homeless in New York when I was living in New York. So I was jumping between friends' couches, my girlfriend's place, my parents' home in Connecticut, while also trying to manage 3 or 4 employees in New York.
Why don't I know this? Why can't I get this? Why can't I show them that it makes sense? And then I realized that maybe it's not me. Maybe it's just something that I'm not supposed to know. Maybe it's just something I'm supposed to learn from them.
Right? So it's a process, right? You can't just get up and run away like Usain Bolt. It's impossible, right? So same is the case with programming as well. You need to give it time. And I was very impatient, and that's something which also made my life kind of depressing as well in the beginning.
There were people in the class who would sit there and everything just seemed so easy for them. And they'd often complain about the fact that the work was just too simple. Meanwhile, there was me who I just felt like I couldn't absorb most of the stuff that was being thrown at us and just felt like there was too much.
Probably started feeling that I can do more and I'm not doing because of certain things is pulling me back. It may be some of the characteristics that I have. I'm introvert and I am shying off for showing my face and leading my voice to other people. So let's not do that.
The act of just disconnecting, not just from work, but from commitments that you've made that maybe overload you, that are not necessarily getting to you what you want. And even sometimes the hardest case, leaving a commitment that does get you happiness and what you want, but helping you in the way that it gives you more time to explore yourself.
I know that not every male is like that. And I thank you, the ones that are respectful and kind people, you guys rock. But it's I know it gets me kind of emotional.
I froze up because I saw my mom in the audience and I started crying, and I was like a 3-year-old, and so I just didn't have enough, I did not know what to do, and I just started crying because I did not know what to speak now that I'm on the stage.
I am selective about the jobs I take. And again, this is a massive privilege that I'm able to take. But I have turned down jobs where I don't feel like the company is invested in either creating good in the world, whatever that means.
I keep trying to be a builder. I keep trying to be a software developer. Why am I in this job? And I was enjoying the job. I enjoy the firm. So I didn't leave the firm because I didn't like the people or anything. I just realized I'm a builder and I should be building things.
One thing that was a game changer for me personally in coding was when I admitted to myself at one time that I actually didn't know my text editor.
But these are things also that I recovered from largely through therapy, and going on a weekly basis and talking to a professional about okay, when I'm scared of opening my computer because I don't know how to answer the 20 emails that came in overnight, which seems like a silly thing, what do I do? How do I deal with this?
It's not a silly thing though at all.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and just pay attention to your body and your mind. I'm not really a woo-woo guy, but I know that a woo-woo guy, I'm not super.
I was a smoker before I came to USA. And now I feel gratitude, actually. I went to BYU because, it's a really bad habit.
My eyes light up when they said Excel, Excel. And everybody else was like, Excel, oh no. And I was the only one, oh, Excel, yes, I know that too.
At the beginning of the pandemic, because I've got a lovely girlfriend, and I flew out here, didn't mean to stay out here as long as it did, and then just never hopped on that return flight.
Yeah, so I spent my first 15 years of my life in Uzbekistan. I was actually born when Soviet Union was still a thing. The last couple of years of it.
Some of us are old enough to remember that. Some of us are old enough to remember, yes.
That's part of the problem, is people look at management and think that they're, this is where failed developers go to die. And it's really not the case. And as a matter of fact,
I got flown out to Chicago, and at a happy hour with some of the executives, I politely asked, or paraphrasing this, but I politely asked So why did you reject my application?
By that point, I was in Spain and kind of just learned to kind of barter with bed and breakfast owners. And I say, hey, I'll come stay here. Maybe I'll have an apartment for me. And then I'll do some things, some hospitality sort of things. I don't know, whatever it is.
Oddly enough, I didn't get my feet like into like the traditional web development or Python initially. I jumped straight into VR and started developing like VR projects.
I think a lot of things in life are outside of our control. Certainly, I could not in a million years have concocted a universe in which Mark Wahlberg was to call my VP of sales and knock on my door to ask me to build a product for him. I could never have controlled the universe to make that happen.
Then we rolled it out to the other 5 call centers. And anyway, it ended up saving Citicorp almost $1 million a year. So I got recognized for that and got an award.
Wow.
Yeah, because of this simple thing.
Where you're not dependent on one single point of failure. I think that's really the big thing that's just kind of ingrained in my DNA and in my company that made it much easier to weather through this.
You can't disregard the person, the job seeker, the person, and all the emotions that come with that. So that's when I put my life coaching hat on.
What I'm hoping for is to get back to a lot of that activity, being able to really connect and have long conversations across the table from each other while we're working on whatever the part of the matrix we're in.
Why are these people living 100 years old? And one of the things they've discovered is that people who live in those areas, they walk a lot. They actually walk. And it's one of the most basic things that we can do for exercise as human beings. I mean, we're standing on 2 feet, and there's all this evolution around doing this, and it's really good for us.
I guess I would just plug the idea of people in the community who have these skills, finding ways to use them, whether it's as part of their career on the side, to solve the problems that they see around them, or to empower others to solve problems, whatever that is. Right?
One nice thing is that we have a pair of ears and just one mouth, so we should use it accordingly, listen more than we talk, to actually try to understand the other person.
I honestly could not picture a future for myself. I did not expect to live to see this and everything. And the fact that I am here after everything I've gone through, can we swear on here?
I would rather you didn't.
Okay, it's really, really freaking amazing.
Hope you enjoyed that recap. I want to thank all of our guests and staff for contributing to this project. If you'd like to learn more about Educative Sessions or more about Educative, please visit us at educative.io. Thank you so much and happy learning.